Okay, so you've now created your website and you want to start selling some products and bringing some money in. So let's have a look at how you can do that. Let's say on this particular website we're going to sell products in this section here. And remember that in the Power of Free what we're interested in doing is selling digital download products. So let's say that each of these here is perhaps a manual or a video or a set of videos, something like that, something which is a digital product which the customer can download from your website. So what we want to do here on this part of the website is to create a button which your customer can press in order to make a payment to you so that they can then download the product that you're going to sell them. So the fastest and easiest way to take payments online is with PayPal. So if you go to PayPal and open an account and then log in, go to the Merchant Services tab and then select Sell Single Items. So this takes you to a page that looks like this. Now what we're trying to create is this button down here, and so you can see it says Buy Now. So that's fairly straightforward. Your customer understands that if they want to buy the product on your website where this is located, they simply press Buy Now, and it gives them the opportunity to put in their credit card details and make the payment so they can buy the product they want. So the Buy Now button is chosen here by default, and you now need to enter in the item name. So let's say here, for example, our product name is Fireworks Video Series and eBook. And you also need to put in, we don't have to, it's optional, but you should put in an item ID. And this is simply just a number, for example, number 1. And it's so that when you have numerous items to sell, various different products, you're easily able to identify sales of each particular product because you have a unique ID for each product. Now you put in here the price, so let's say our price is 99, and you select the currency. So depending on where you are or where your customers are, and perhaps you just choose to use US dollars, so I'll put in here 99 US dollars. If we just scroll down, now there are various other options here which you can choose to use if you wish to, but for the purpose of what we're doing here we don't need any of those. And also there's an option here to put in postage. Now you're going to be offering digital download products, so you're not sending anything out to the customer, so this can be left blank. So we'll go down now to step number 2, and this brings up a page looks like this. Again, various options here. Actually, for the purpose of what we're doing, none of this is relevant, so we'll proceed on to step number 3. And so the options here are, do you want to let your customer change order quantities? Well, in general, the customer is going to be ordering a digital download product once, so the answer is no. Can your customer add special instructions in a message to you? Well, if you want them to have a text field in which they can enter special instructions, then leave that as yes, but in most cases for what we're doing, the answer is going to be no. And then, do you need your customer's postal address? Well, in this case the answer is going to be no. Again, you may have some specific requirements that do wish you to have a customer's postal address, but for the purpose of what we're doing here, the answer is generally going to be no. And then we come to these two rather important fields here. So these two fields are asking you two questions. The first one is asking you to enter a URL, which is a web address, on your website where you want PayPal to take your customer to if they cancel their payment. And the second one is asking for a web address on your website where you want PayPal to take your customer after they have successfully made the payment to you. So in the case of this first field, the situation here is that the customer has clicked on the Buy Now button, they've perhaps started to put in their credit card details, and then they've had second thoughts and they've pressed the Cancel button to back out of the transaction and get out of the deal. So you may wish to put in a page reference here, a URL to a page on your website where perhaps you're offering the customer some kind of sales saver deal. So for example, if your product was $99, you may wish to have an extra page on your website that this field takes the customer to when they press the cancel button in order to offer them perhaps a cheaper product. So not a $99 product, but maybe a $49 product. And so think of that as a kind of sales saver option. And this one down here then of course is the page on your website which you will have created and you want PayPal to take your customers to when they do make the payment. They've put in their detail, the transaction's gone through perfectly, and you now need to give the customer the product they've ordered. So this will effectively be the web address of the page on which they can download their digital product. So what we'll do here is tick this box, and we'll put in the HTTP // and whatever your domain name happens to be called. So just for the purpose of this example, I'll call it mydomain.com. We will, of course, in further videos, and also of course on the Power of Free Toolkit, go into full details about how you go about getting a domain name, how you also go about getting a hosting account, and how you get that for free without any ongoing cost, and how you link the domain name to the hosting account, and how you then publish your website to that free hosting account. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to keep it simple. So here in this field, if we're looking at some kind of sales saver product, then perhaps you might want to call that page salesaver.html, for example. So you know when you're looking at your file names that's the page in which you're offering the customer perhaps some sort of reduced price product. So if we come down to the second field, then this is the URL the customer is taken to when they have successfully made their payment. So www. and whatever your domain happens to be called. Now you need to think carefully about what you're going to call the page where the customer can download the product. You don't want to make it something obvious like download page, because anyone could guess that and then simply go to download page on your website and get the product for free, bypassing the need to make a payment via PayPal. So you need to make the name of this page something a bit random. So let's, for example, call it download with a series of random sort of letters and numbers afterwards. Again, HTML. And once you've filled in those two fields, then that's pretty much it for step 3. We don't need to get involved in this section down here, so we now press Create button. And there it is. PayPal has now created some code which you can now put on your website. Again, don't worry about the code. Don't worry about needing to understand how all this works. You don't need to. All you need to know is that this is a piece of code which you can simply copy and paste into your website, and it will generate this Buy Now button on your website. So all we do is we simply select code and copy. And as you'll recall from previous cases, if we're going to put it in this section here, what we're going to want to do then is delete this bit of text here when we go into the code, and to find that bit of text we're going to look for the word fireworks. Okay, so we've now opened up the code for the particular page that we're looking to edit. In this case it was the home page, so it was index.html, and so I've used the edit find function within Notepad, put in the word I was looking for, which was fireworks, find next, and there is the word fireworks, and there is the demo text that we had seen a moment ago. Okay, so all we want to do here then is simply delete this piece of demo text, take that back there, and paste in the code which we've just taken from PayPal, and there we go. And now we'll simply save, and if we now go back to our website and simply refresh the page, there we go. We now have our Buy Now button on our web page. And I've now just gone back into the code and tidied it up a little bit. We didn't need the more link anymore underneath here because we have the Buy Now button, and so it's now same size as the other items on this section, and so your customer can now see that they can still click on the link there if they wanted to learn more about fireworks, or simply just go straight to the Buy Now. So let's see what happens then when your customer on your website clicks on the Buy Now button. And so there we are, we're taken through straight away to a PayPal page which tells you the name of the product and gives you the opportunity to put in your credit card details. The payment will then appear instantly on your PayPal account, and you will get an email from PayPal telling you that payment's in, and it's up to you then as to what you do with it. If you want to simply transfer it to your own bank account, or you want to keep the money building up in your PayPal account, it's entirely up to you. Obviously refer to the PayPal site for details of how to set up your account and what options you may wish to choose on there. It is fairly straightforward, but hopefully you've seen here that the process of setting up a payment button on your website is remarkably straightforward. You simply just went into PayPal, clicked a few options, they gave you the code. You didn't need to write any code or do any programming. You simply copied the code, pasted it into your website, and that was it, done. Your website is now ready to take payments. So there we are then, back on your website, and that took us all of about 5 minutes, I think, to push the buy now button on your website. Remember, of course, to create another page for the Sale Saver product, and also, of course, a page for the customer to download the product. We will go into detail in a further video as to how you actually provide that download, and of course in the Power Free Toolkit we will go into great more detail on the actual background of the strategy of how to make all this make money for you, and everything else you need to know in terms of getting free software and free products and everything else that's required to generate income earning a Power Free business. So quite happy to show you now a preview of the Power Free Toolkit. If you simply click on the link below, you can have a look at it right now.